Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with a brand new updated complete guide for Nilah. Of course, before we get into the details, don't forget to of course check out Nilah's basic guide, which covers her skills, leveling, order, tips and tricks, as well as some combos. But also before we get into the video itself, Nilah, or not Nilah, but Wild Rift is going to get updated in the next couple of days from patch 4.3C to D, and most likely this build will still be the same. Most likely it will still be relevant. Now this is a really interesting one because as you guys know, I'm generally not a very big fan of Collector because I personally feel that Collector is a really big bait item that basically you love to see that 999 execute kind of thing, but in reality it's really not a very strong item. A lot of other lethality items are better than Collector, and a lot of crit items are better than the Collector as well. But the only time you want to get Collector is when you want lethality and crit together. Now, initially, I did not think Nilah would be one of those champions, but it turns out Nilah actually does very well with Collector as a first item. Because actually with that early damage from Collector, she can actually snowball, and she can actually make very good use of the early lethality. Of course, as a trade-off in late game, the Collector is going to fall off as an item, so you might need to replace it at the later stages of the game. However, this is what we have. So we're going to go for Collector first item. Now, another option you can go for is go for Boots as a first item. So you can go for Gluttonous Grease first item for the early Omnivamp and early attack speed. And then you can go for Collector either before or after your Boots, which will of course give you the AD, the crit rate, as well as the armor pen. We've covered the passive already, but passive is not important here. Then after that, basically between these three items, it's kind of which build order you prefer. Some people like going for IE second for the earlier spike in terms of AD and crit damage, but I personally like Bloodthirster second because it gives basically the same stat line as IE, but the only difference is the passive. So with Bloodthirsty you get the Omnivamp together with the Bloodthorn Shield, whereas with IE you get the extra crit damage. And personally I think survivability on Nilah is going to be a lot more important than damage, at least at the earlier stages of the game, so which is why I go of course for the Bloodthirster before IE. And then the last item you get Shield Bow. Now of course Shield Bow used to be our first item, but as we all know, Shield Bow after the nerf is not as good as is not as good of a first item anymore. So ideally you want to go for it later, but I didn't really find a better first item from my previous Nilah build. Now that I have, which is the Collector, I'm gonna put the Emerald Shield Bow to last. So of course this is gonna give you the attack speed, the crit rate, all that good stuff. But of course you also get the Lifeline Shield, which is of course gonna be very helpful for Nilah, when she is going all in. And finally, for your last item, you get a defensive item. I just put GA here as a filler. Of course, this gives you the revive and armor. This is really good into heavy AD teams and heavy burst teams. Into heavy AP teams, Spirit Visage is amazing because you heal so much from your Shield Bow and from your Bloodthirster, as well as from your passive. So with the Spirit Visage, you're gonna heal insane amounts. So if you're into heavy AP champs, this is gonna be very, very good. Like 2 heavy AP champs is good enough to build Spirit Visage. If you need just defenses in general, Twin Guard is really good as well. It makes you a lot more tanky, and it's just really good. So if you notice this build, you don't actually have a armor pen item. That's because Nilah already gets 35% armor pen from her passive. So you don't actually really need an armor pen item, although you probably could and should still go for it. So here is the moral reminder, which you can go for instead of your last item if you want to, of course, get Grievous Wounds and armor pen. Now another option you also can go for is of course the LDR. LDR will of course cause you to exceed 100% crit if you go for it as your last item, but what I like to do is I will get my last item, which is a defensive item, and then I will sell my Collector and then get my LDR, because as I said, if you are at the stage where you can sell items to buy new ones, Collector is probably going to be useless at this point, because who cares about the 10 armor pen at this stage of the game anymore. So that's what I'm going to do. So now we go into the runes. Now the runes, as you guys can see, is really interesting. Why? Because we have Resolve Tree Primary. So before we get into the Resolve Tree, let's talk about Conqueror. Conqueror is really obvious choice, no-brainer. Gives you AD and Omnivamp. Like really, what other better rune is there for Nilah? She's also a melee champion, so she gets even more bonus Omnivamp. So now let's talk about the actual Resolve Tree. So normally what you used to go for is of course this Precision Tree. So what you would normally go for is you would normally go for, of course, the Omnivamp last. You would go for between Giant Slayer as well as Coup de Grace most of the time. Some people like taking Last Stand, but I personally don't like Last Stand on Nilah because I feel that if you get fed and you're never low, Last Stand is kind of wasted. So I normally choose between these two. And then for the first one, you choose between Triumph and as well as the what's this called? Brutal. So let's say if you have this setup, right? So Triumph, you get a slight bit of healing on kill, right? You do a little bit of extra damage to low HP enemies, and you get Omnivamp. Now this is good. This is really good. Don't get me wrong. But what do you get instead for the result tree? You get a shield when you're low. You get of course this healing when you're in lane, and you get of course more health. Now, why would you want defensive stats over offensive stats because you're an ADC? Well, the real answer here is that Nilah is really weak early. Now, Collector definitely makes her better and stronger than if you had Shield Bow as the first item, but she still needs to wait for 2-3 items to really spike. And this is similar to a lot of other ADCs. However, Nilah is melee, so she's gonna get really abused and really bullied in the laning phase. So, as I mentioned in a lot of my tier lists, the main reason why Nilah is not really considered top tier is because she is really easy to bully in the laning phase, and she pretty much always is gonna fall behind. So, if that happens, you're gonna be at disadvantage. So, how do you prevent this? Well, you take all your defensive runes. The most important is second wind, which is going to allow you to heal up. So when you get poked down or you get auto-attacked by an enemy ADC, you're going to regen health and hopefully be, relatively healthy. Then overgrowth, of course, whenever you kill 2 minions or a monster, or any 2 minions or monsters are killed nearby you, you're going to get health. And of course, this health is going to make you more tanky, which doesn't really help in the laning phase itself. It's going to help you throughout the game to just be more tanky in general, which is going to help because you lifesteal a lot. So getting health is going to be a very good thing. And then, nullifying out, probably the least important out of the three. But this is going to give you, of course, a lifeline. I'm going to call it a lifeline, but it's a kind of a lifeline shield, when you drop low. And this is going to be really helpful in the laning phase once again to prevent yourself from dying. Having a shield is always going to be good. So for your secondary option, you actually have a couple options. Now, I personally like going for Sudden Impact because this gives me the 13 Armor Pen is going to be very, very helpful for me, especially in the early lane as well as later on in the game as well. But you could also go for something like Omnivamp if you prefer that as well. So kind of up to you what you want to go for. For the spells, you of course always go for Flash. And most of the time you want to go for Exhaust because if Nilah, you're always in Exhaust range because you're melee. But you could also go for Ghost as well because Ghost is also very helpful at Nilah. But with all that out of the way, let's jump into talking about her gameplay itself. Okay, so let's move on to the gameplay itself. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I basically just changed my phone to an iPhone 15 Pro. So now we got that like dynamic island thingy at the side that kind of is a little bit annoying in the replay thing at the beginning, but it's gone after a while, so not too big of an issue. But also, you can if you look at the video, the minimap is kind of not all the way to the left of the screen, and the champion portraits as well. I've just figured out that I can actually custom shift that actually all the way to the left and all the way to the right for the enemy champion. So I will be doing that. I think it's like 2 videos later because this replay and the next replay that I recorded, I actually did not shift it because I didn't think to do that. But I've done it in the 2 videos down. So this problem will be fixed. It's only a problem for these 2 videos. But yeah, enough about all these technical issues. Let's jump into the gameplay itself. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we basically got a free lane. So what do I mean by this? Normally the main issue in Nilah is laning phase. So laning phase is normally where you get abused and destroyed. But if you look at this Kai'Sa, she's actively scared of us. Like, Janna is a little bit threatening, she's trying to poke her down and stuff, but I can't actually do anything to her at level 1. And level 2, I can go all in on her, but I'm not gonna win with a Yuumi on her back. So I wouldn't really want to do that. So if I was Kai'Sa, I would be playing very aggressively, trying to poke me down and trying to make my life difficult. But you can see Kai'Sa here, she's playing super scared, she's playing max range away from us, just letting Yuumi try to poke, and she's just last hitting. So she's not interested in fighting us at all. She's not interested in trading at all either. I'm not really sure why, but we're getting a free lane. So as I said, I'm not going to complain about that, but this is not going to happen every match. In fact, it is very, very rare that you're going to get a free lane. Most of the time, you are going to get abused. So this is a very big rarity. So because Kai'Sa is giving me a free lane, I'm actually getting 100% of CS here. Most of the time as Nilah, you're not going to be able to get every CS because you're going to get bullied off of CS a lot. And if you don't want to lose all your health and be at risk of getting dove or something like that, you're gonna have to give up some CS. So here we're gonna have to back off a little bit because Lee Sin was just spotted just walking down. Popped the control ward into our bush, which we're gonna get rid of. But yeah, so here we do miss a CS because we came back a little bit late. But here you can see we're basically just happy farming and stuff. So yeah, so you know we're not doing anything to the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's not doing anything to us. We're just kind of handshake farming at the moment. Lee Sin goes in, gets the kill onto Morgana for first blood. Fizz is really low, is backing in a very dangerous position when he already knows Lee Sin is there because Morgana just died, and Lee Sin just pops in, picks up another free kill onto Fizz. Pretty bad start to the game, because Morgana tried to duel Lee Sin, or Lee Sin invaded, so it's not really Morgana's fault. But Fizz, really greedy recall, gives Lee Sin another free kill, and Lee Sin, of course, early game champion, starting to snowball. He has Gluttonous Greaves in the dirt, he's going to be trouble. So here, a really nice tornado by my Janna, and here I'm going all in onto the Kai'Sa, and off of this all in, they basically blew everything. Alright, Yuumi had ulted, Kai'Sa did not ult, but Kai'Sa barriered, Kai'Sa flashed, and Yuumi healed. For some reason, this Yuumi has a flash instead of like ignite or an exhaust, but we literally blew all of their sums. I mean, Yuumi's flash is not important, but we basically blew all of their sums in trade for my ulti, which is really good deal. We didn't blow any sums at all, whereas they basically used everything. So we're in a very advantageous state in the game right now, or in the lane right now, I should say. So if they try to fight us ever again, or if they overextend, this is prime time to go in on them and get a kill. So of course it's still gonna be difficult with Yuumi there. We don't have any anti-heal, so this is gonna be a little bit challenging. But yeah, we did get all of their sums, and this is a pretty big deal, so we can see if we can take advantage of it. Even if we don't like necessarily kill them or anything like that, it's still good because it still makes Kai'Sa have to play even more safe, even though she's already kind of playing very safe. But yeah. So here Janna's playing really aggressive because obviously this Kai'Sa is playing very safe, and if someone's playing very safe, you kind of get more room to walk up and be a little bit more aggressive. And honestly, there's really not much to talk about here. It's literally just me farming and Janna poking the Kai'Sa. So far we've only had that like one fight where we blew their sum, so really nothing too much is going on. So something's gonna happen now because Dragon's gonna come up. So we have just enough gold to get Collector, so I'm gonna back and pick up my Collector, and I'm gonna head back out, ready to of course contest Dragon, etc. So Lee Sin's backing, Kai'Sa Yuumi's backing as well. Wave has pushed into my tower. I'm gonna just try to collect this wave, push out the next wave as well, and hopefully we can rotate to the Dragon to get that. So Morgana is a little bit slow, not really ready at the moment. I was going to rotate to Dragon, and then I realized that we could actually just get a free plate while waiting for Morgana to come. So that's exactly what we do. Just gonna walk over, pick up that free plate, head back out. So now Morgana kind of gets baited to come to the lane, gets a little bit of poke onto Kai'Sa. She started Rylai's as her first item, so she's not going to be doing very much damage. I'm going to one-shot the wave using my full combo, and then I'm going to head over to the Dragon. So we kind of did a trade. Lee Sin picked up the Herald. He's going for mid lane tower, which he does manage to get. And we are going to trade for Dragon instead. Here I'm trying to go in on Lee Sin slash Kai'Sa slash Akali. It's getting to be a very messy fight. I try to get an ulti onto all of them, but I end up hitting none of them, which is kind of embarrassing. Literally, they all stepped out of my ulti from in different directions, and I pretty much got confused as to who I should try to target with my ulti. I tried to hit them all, and I ended up hitting none. So, anyways, Lee Sin here, trying to go on me. Of course, my Janna is dead, Morgana is gone as well. I initially was trying to recall here, but then it occurred to me that I'm under tower. I can probably farm this wave, against the Kai'Sa and the Yuumi. So unfortunately, as I'm trying to do this, Lee Sin pops up. So here I'm trying to dodge, but Lee Sin decides to go onto Janna instead. So here I'm trying to go in onto them. Janna hits a nice tornado, and here I'm clearing out the wave. Lee Sin hits the Q, but if he goes in, he's gonna tank tower, so he does not do that. And we end up pretty much farming the wave under tower relatively unscathed. Didn't really have to blow any sums, didn't really have to blow anything actually, so I would say that that's a pretty big win for me. So here Kai'Sa's roaming to mid for some reason. It's only 6:50 something in terms of time. Plates are still up, so with Kai'Sa roaming for no good reason, we're gonna be able to pick up a couple of tower plates. So we pick up 2 plates here with the Janna already. We're going for a 3rd plate. But Kai'Sa, you know, Void Seeker is in Void Seeker range. Akali's coming down. We don't want to be greedy about it, so we're just going to walk off. Set ends up coming down too. And by the way, guys, in the meanwhile, you know, top lane has been a disaster. Set somehow has managed to get 2 towers, and he has Hullbreaker. He's going for our tower now, and our tower pretty much can't really be defended. So I'm just going to just back off, recall, get my boots, and you know, we're just gonna give Set this tower basically. So we can defend the tier 1 tower, so we're just going to wait around so we don't die to Set when he gets the tower. So we're going to instead just go ahead and farm this next minion wave. So you can see so far, we're 0, 0, and 0, 8 minutes into the game. What have we done so far? We've pretty much just power farmed our minions for 8 minutes of the game. So this is fine because of course Nilah is skills very, very well into the late stages of the game. So we're fine with this, you know. If we're not like dying on repeat, you know, it's good, it's all good. You know, we get a couple of items, we start taking over the game. No big deal. But for you know, in terms of what's happening now, it's pretty boring. Gameplay. I mean, it's really a big lack of gameplay in the first place. So yeah. Anyways, you know, action's gonna happen real soon. So, you know, can look forward to that, I guess. But yeah, so here, yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing really much for me to say. We're just walking around farming minions. We went to mid, farm minions, blah, blah, blah. We're building towards our Bloodthirster, so we got our Vamp Scepter. And here we're trying to stop Set from getting another tower, so we're gonna have to come here to defend the tower. In the meanwhile, there's a fight happening in mid where my team's kind of dying. Fizz has gone down, and Kai'Sa is going on to Morgana. Here, I decided not to go for the fight because that's a fight we don't win. It's like 4v or 5v3 because one guy is dead and Vladimir is pushing top. So this is not going to be a good fight. So I'm just going to go for the minions instead for the guaranteed gold. They all rotate to top to all go clear top together supposedly. So I'm just going to go here, pick up the farm in mid again. You can see that even though I'm 0, 0, and 0, I have the most gold on my team. So before we talk about the goal, let's talk about the fight here. Kai'Sa tries to go in, I exhaust her for the slow. I flash over, chasing the Kai'Sa. I get the kill, get a 2-man ulti. I'm chasing the Yuumi, I'm chasing the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is a huge shutdown, but he's running away. So here I'm going to help my team to kill the Akali. We get the Akali, Yuumi's 1 HP. I get the Yuumi as well. And finally, the action has come. We've got a triple kill instantly and gone on a killing spree. Unfortunately, the 5-kill Lee Sin managed to escape, and I had 2 options in this fight. Option number 1, chase Lee Sin for the kill. Option number 2, help my team kill Akali and Yuumi so that they don't die. And I think that even if I got the kill on Yuumi and let's say Akali, even if I got the kill on Lee Sin and let's say my team died to the Akali Yuumi, I think that wouldn't really have been worth because, you know, they would have gotten 2 kills and I would have gotten 1, albeit with a shutdown. So I chose to go help my team instead of greeting over Lee Sin, and I think that was overall the correct decision. Anyways, before I got these 3 kills, the point was going to be a lot more potent. But basically my point is that I've gotten so much gold from just farming. So here Lee Sin is trying to get greedy and steal the dragon. So I'm going to try to go on him. You can see I'm using my full combo on him. I'm just blasting him, and I end up going down because Yuumi attaches and is able to actually heal him out. Now here is becoming a disaster of a fight. I mean, Vladimir is getting a kill. However, we do get the dragon, but we're pretty much all dying. Janna's 1 HP, Vlad's 1 HP, Vlad's gonna go down, there he goes. Fizz was never in the fight to begin with, and Janna manages to escape with a sliver of health. So overall, it's kind of a disastrous fight. We tried to 1v1 the Lee Sin, which in my opinion, I think was a mistake because Lee Sin just a little bit too fed at that point in time, and I did not have my Bloodthirster if I'm not mistaken, so a little bit difficult to duel the Lee Sin. But now we are 2 items versus 2 items against the Lee Sin, so we might be able to actually fight him. We'll have to see. But when we hit 3 items, we definitely outscale Lee Sin, so we definitely can fight him when we have 3 items. So here, we're just once again just going for the farm, going to we're not just going here for the farm, but we're also going here to prevent the Hullbreaker set from just taking towers for free. This is really important because if you leave towers unattended, a good Hullbreaker player is going to just take those towers. So here, while on the way to collecting mid-wave, I'm going to collect the Raptors, and then now mid-wave is in. We have to compete with Fizz a little bit for the mid-wave, but we are able to, you know, pick up some of that mid-wave. Here, I spot a very overextended Kai'Sa and Lee Sin. I'm just going to commit onto the Lee Sin. I wanted that shutdown. Or actually, it's Akali. Sorry, that's not Lee Sin. But here is Lee Sin, so I'm going to commit to Lee Sin because I want that shutdown. I'm going to flash the wall, go for the kill, and I do get the kill onto Lee Sin. And we are able to get the shutdown. So you can see now that I'm on 10,000 plus gold, which is about the same as the Set and slightly behind the Lee Sin. 5 and 1 at this point. Set is getting tier 2 tower up on the opposite side of the map. I'm trying to ping for Baron because we could actually do Baron here, but Morgana just is not interested. And by the time she actually comes, it's a little bit too late because Lee Sin and Akali are respawning soon. And we don't want to get caught in a situation where we're doing Baron and, you know, they respawn, they come in, kill us, and get Baron. Like, that's going to be a really bad one. So we're not going to get too greedy about it here. Set overextended a lot. We're trying to catch him out. I'm dodging Kai'Sa's stuff and Yuumi as well. Here I sidestep the Set's pull, and then I'm able to kill the Yuumi that detached, and Morgana finishes off the kill onto Kai'Sa. Now, that was honestly a really beautiful chain of events there. I was able to sidestep Kai'Sa W for the movement speed to outrun Yumi's Q, and then I stopped there for a second because I knew Set was going to try to CC me, so I stopped there for a second, let him waste his CC, and then I went in on him, which was honestly a pretty beautiful chain of events here. So we are able to secure those kills, and we are getting very, very fat. 7-1 and 1 now. We're putting ourselves in the driver's seat to try to carry our team on our backs, of course. And we also have the help and support of our Janna, who of course is you know, providing us the shields and the peels you know, from the enemy team, especially champs like the Lee Sin and the Akali. So here we once again get the Raptors. Lee Sin once again very overextended. We're going for the full burst on him, ult him and the Akali as well. We're now going for the burst on the Akali. We get her. We're going for the burst on the Kai'Sa. Vladimir secures the kill onto her. And now we're on the chase for the Yuumi. Unfortunately can't quite reach the cat. Set is there to provide her an exit path, and she is able to leave. So overall, you know, still pretty good. We got pretty much 3 kills there, and we have our 3 items now. We have, of course, Collector into BT, into IE, and at this point in time, we should be doing a ton of damage. So we're gonna get even more items now. I am going to go for Stasis instead of Proto Belt this match, because I think that Stasis in this match is going to be a lot more important for me, because I'm really the main carry of the team. I don't want to be the main engage for the team with the Proto Belt. I think high likelihood is the enemy team is going to engage on us, so I don't really need to engage anyways. If not, I'm going to let my team engage. I'm not going to be engaged with the Proto Belt, so I'm not going to go for the Proto Belt at all this match. I'm going to go for the Stasis. Of course, for the survivability factor, you know, to delay time for my team to help me, or for my wait for my cooldowns, and, you know, all that good stuff. So we somehow managed to actually secure 2 dragons. So now we have, of course, playing for the 3 dragon win condition here. So we're trying to set up for the 3 dragon win condition. Something of worry is that the top wave is kind of stacking up, and Set can actually just split push the top wave. The enemy team actually goes for a Baron trade, which is actually something that I was aware of during this time, but I think that trading Baron for triple dragon is actually not a very bad trade, assuming we don't lose too much. Here we're definitely gonna lose inhib though, so here I'm gonna try to just defend. They probably cannot end, of course. So here I spot an opportunity to go in. I'm gonna hit the 4-man ulti, dash, kill the Kai'Sa first, kill the Akali next, just get rid of this Yuumi so she can't heal anybody. And then my team is kind of dying, so I'm gonna have to go back to help them. Flash forward, exhaust the Lee Sin. I'm gonna go for the kill on Lee Sin. We get the kill onto the Lee Sin, and now we're gonna have to quickly retreat and clear up the minions in the base. So here we get actually a very clean ace. And Fizz is gonna be able to trade inhib on the opposite side of the map. So overall, I think that we overall won the situation pretty hard. They got Baron, but they're dead, so they can't use it. We got triple dragon. They got an inhib, we got an inhib, we killed all of them, and they killed 2 of us. So overall, it's a hard win for us in this situation. Just look at this damage. We're a full, not full build, but we're a full 100% crit now. We basically just one-shot the wave. Here we're just gonna pretty much one-shot the Raptors as well. We're gonna do insane amounts of damage now. Here I was trying to pick up the red buff, but I'm getting spam pinged by my Morgana to not take it. And since she's respawning and walking over, I'm gonna be a nice guy, and I'm not gonna actually take the red buff. I'm gonna let her take the red buff so she can get it as well. Of course, this will help her out together with her slow on her Rylai. So we're gonna let her take that, and we're gonna take this for ourselves. So here the enemy team somehow is trying to walk in our jungle, which is kind of really weird. Like, Set just try to walk in there, even though there's nothing they could really achieve from doing that. Now here, of course, I'm trying to farm to my last item, so I'm just gonna go and pick up these wolves. It's getting to a pretty late stage of the game at this point. Of course, Baron was just taken, so Elder Dragon is going to be the next objective that's going to be up in a minute's time. And in setup for Elder, we're going to have to push out this top wave. So here I wanted to go push the wave, but Fizz is just following me, so we're going to have to compete for the farm. He just tries to go for the farm, I'm trying to go for the farm, and I decide to give him the farm, and when I start recalling, he starts recalling too, which is really annoying. So I'm pinging him to get the wave, which he thankfully does because I think the minion stopped his recall. But, you know, we need someone to clear that wave so Set doesn't just split push and end the game. So here I'm going to push out the bot wave in the meantime, because of course before you do an objective you want to push out all your waves. And now I'm spam pinging to go Elder Dragon, because for some reason my Fizz and my Vladimir is on the wrong side of the map and my Morgana's in base. So here the enemy team is trying to go in. Look at what we can do here. We're full build. Kai'Sa gets caught. Boom! We just one-shot her like that. That's what you know, Nilah can do, and when at like, you know, 4 items, can just one-shot. Akali sees the damage. She's scared. She's running away. And now we're going for Lee Sin, who's now overextended. He does have a Yuumi though, so it's a little bit difficult. Jenna misses the tornado. We're still chasing him. He's dashing over the wall. I misclick my ultimate. End up ulting the minions, which is pretty bad. But yeah. So here Morgana this whole time is just soloing the Elder Dragon for some stupid reason instead of helping us fight. Lee Sin is still alive. I'm flashing over to try to kill the Lee Sin so that he can't get the Elder Dragon, but he goes into stasis and steals the dragon because Morgana can't smite. Thankfully though, we kill the Lee Sin, we kill the Yuumi, and only Set is left alive. Now Set, as I expected, is trying to win via split push. So I can actually end the game right now, but I need my team to stop the Set. So here Kai'Sa is alone. We're just going to do the same thing we did just now. We're just going to one-shot her. Who cares about the Kai'Sa? Thankfully, my team manages to stop and kill the Set. So this means that we win the game because I can end. So yeah, that was a really exciting match. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. And goodbye.